y'all, it's Allie from Little Hill Homestead. Are you guys in like fall mode and you're ready to like eat all things pumpkin and maple and like I'm finally there because actually it's like 80 and humid today, so the weather does not dictate all the feels, right? Anyways, today I'm going to show you guys how to make pumpkin cinnamon rolls. We have a pumpkin, nope, we don't have pumpkin. We have a cinnamon roll recipe on our channel already. I think it was like maybe the first or second video we ever posted, which we're coming up on our 1-year anniversary. Is that not like wild? Anyways, I'll try to remember to link that one below. This is kind of similar to that one, but it is very pumpkin-y and spicy, and it has some maple added to the cream cheese frosting. So I use my bread machine. You do not have to. There you go. And I have learned how to use my bread machine a little bit more since the video I posted a while ago. So I have a Zojirushi. I have my other one that I've had for years and years. It works in either. If you are not using a bread machine, you would warm up your milk, put it in a bowl, add your yeast, and then kind of do it like you would a traditional any other recipe to get a bread. There you go. So I'm going to go ahead and just dump our ingredients in. I have 1/4 of a cup of milk. I have 1/4 a cup of sugar. What else do I have? I don't even know. 1/4 of a cup of butter. I sliced it into little pieces, and I'm just going to kind of spread it around the bottom of my bread machine. The next thing we have 2 eggs. I'm going to put my shells in my little my trash compactor, my little veggie, whatever that thing's called outside. I have 1/2 of a cup of pumpkin puree. This is the pumpkin puree we made for the channel. I don't know, it's been a couple weeks now, but this is just the pumpkin puree. There's nothing in it at all. It's just like the canned stuff. Don't use the pumpkin pie version because that's already got the spices. That's not where we're going. You just want the pumpkin flavor. So it's 1/2 a cup of that going in. All right. We've been watching, so we're from LA originally, and we've been watching all the Dodger parades today, so it's been fun. A teaspoon of salt. I need some pumpkin pie spice. This is the one from Azure Standard. To me, it is a million times better than regular pumpkin pie spice. I don't know what they do different, but it is delicious. You can make your own. When I priced it out to make our own, because I didn't have all the spices to do it, amazingly, with 3,000 spices in the house, we didn't have everything. So Azure was a little bit cheaper. So I went ahead and bought it from them, and there's something more, I don't know, there's something interesting about it. I'm going to do 2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice. If you want it super spicy, go big. I mean, it can handle a little spice. If you're like, I don't really like pumpkin pie spice flavor, you can do just cinnamon as well if you want to go that route. The next thing we need is 3 cups of bread flour. You can use all-purpose flour. You're going to get a little bit of different chew on them if you do. It's all good. If you have vital wheat gluten, you can use regular flour and vital wheat gluten as well. We've done that on our channel before. Totally works. Some places I like to give myself grace and be lazy. And so I try to make as much as I can from scratch. Sometimes you just got to buy bread flour. So I'm going to make a well in the top of my flour. It's just the way my machine suggests to do it. I need 2 1/4 teaspoons or 1 pack of yeast. Like I said, if you don't have a bread machine, 1, you should look at thrift stores because they're cheap and you'll use it way more than you think you will. And 2, if you don't, like I was saying, just do your warm milk, your yeast, and your sugar in a bowl. Let it get foamy, and then start adding all your other ingredients that are wet. Then add your dry ingredients and mix it in like a KitchenAid mixer. You can mix it by hand, whatever. For me, I use just the dough cycle, which on here is 11, and I give it a whirl. So this will be ready for me to do the next part at 6:30 tonight. If you're using not a bread machine, just let it mix, let it rise, punch it down, and then we'll do the next part of it. This has that, so I figured out it has a function at the beginning. I don't know if I love it or hate it. We're still deciding. It warms all your ingredients up, and then it starts mixing it. So I don't have to warm everything by hand. So at 6:30, we'll be back, and we'll make the filling and show you guys how to roll this out and how to make cinnamon rolls. By the way, I'm making these tonight or today. You can do it anytime. The day before. You can actually do it 2 or 3 days before and then just heat them up when you need them. So that's what we're doing. So we have pumpkin pie, cinnamon, not pumpkin pie. We're not making pumpkin pie. Pumpkin, spice, cinnamon rolls for breakfast tomorrow. Okay, we'll be back at 6. All right, we are now going to take our dough. I'm going to put some flour down on our countertop so that when we put our dough onto it, it does not stick. I just keep my flour in this little shaker. It's perfect. I did, by the way, use our little thing off of Amazon, the oil container. I'm loving that thing, you guys. It's awesome. I'll link it below, but it can do a spray or a stream, or you can just open the top and pour oil and you can fill it with your own. So it's like a Pam spray, but it doesn't clog or anything. It's bomb. We've tried a bunch of different ones. This is our favorite. Anyways, we're rolling our dough out we're trying to aim for, I'm a terrible roller. We're aiming for like an 8x12 rectangle. Me, I'm more of a blob person. I just figure if it's close enough, we're set, right? Yeah, it's close enough. But if you want to go bigger, you can to get more rolls. I like a good sized cinnamon roll. We're taking 1 stick of softened butter and we're going to spread that all over our dough. I popped it in the microwave a little bit and it melted a tiny bit too much. Don't tell anybody. But that's our butter layer that helps just everything stick into the middle to make a good cinnamon roll. Sean enters the scene. He's doing our nightly vacuuming. We put our house to bed every night, and part of what we do, and it's probably because we have dogs, is we vacuum the whole house before we settle in. I'm adding 1/4 cup of the pumpkin puree that we did. This is not the pumpkin pie type. This is just the pumpkin puree. So 1/4 cup of that just adds another layer of that pumpkinness, is a word, to our pumpkin cinnamon rolls. I have 1 cup of brown sugar going on. I'm just gonna sprinkle it around, you guys. I'm not like fancy, just smear it on there. Make sure you get all the way to the edges because those are gonna be cinnamon rolls too. This does not have like a crust. You're gonna use it all because it's that good. It's that good. All right, we're gonna clean our hands and then we're gonna go in with some pumpkin pie spice. This is the pumpkin pie spice from Azure Standard. It is phenomenal, and you need 3 teaspoons or 1 tablespoon. It's the same thing. Sprinkle it all over your dough and hey, Sean's vacuuming again. He's the best vacuumer in the whole world. He learned from his mother. So when he vacuums, it looks like sailor lines, very strategic military lines. I vacuum and it looks like a drunk sailor on a Friday night got a hold of the vacuum and wander around the house. It's okay, we have our ways, right? Anyways, I smeared our pumpkin pie spice around a little bit just so that you don't get like clumps of it when you're eating it. We use a pizza wheel and we cut this into 12 even-ish, close-ish. If you want to use a ruler, do, because I'm terrible at getting 12 even. There's going to be some big ones, there's going to be some small ones. I figure everybody gets what they want, right? Yeah, it doesn't matter. No perfection here. Don't overcomplicate it. Anyways, once we cut those, I just roll them up, and my spacing is terrible in my pan. Don't judge me. I'll spread them out when I'm done, but look, Sean's now done vacuuming. Thank you, lovey. And I'm still rolling and rolling. These pumpkin rolls are like a touch of fall. They're perfect for like the holiday season that's coming up. They have like some cinnamon and some nutmeg and some allspice, and that little bit of pumpkin isn't overwhelming. It's just a hint of pumpkin. Overall, they're pretty dang tasty, you guys. If you're gonna bake them right away, you would let them rise for about 30 to 45 minutes just on the top of your oven, and then you're gonna bake them 350, 18 to 20 minutes. If you're like me, I'm making them the night before. I'm going to throw some plastic wrap. You guys know I just love this stuff. I'm gonna throw some plastic wrap over the top and pop them in my refrigerator. And there you guys go. It's bright and early, but we're putting our cinnamon rolls out. I put them on my stove and I turn it to 350 to start warming up. Kind of helps them rise and warm up. I'm putting out 1 stick of cream cheese and a stick of butter. We just keep ours in a little butter dish, so it's actually already room temp, but give it about an hour, then we're gonna bake those bad boys. Good morning. I'm waiting for my caffeine to kick in, and you get me with no makeup, just got out of bed, but our cinnamon rolls have risen beautifully. Aren't they pretty? They're gonna go into our 350-degree oven for 18 to 20 minutes. Usually I like to get them a little on the softer side. I don't like to overcook them. Sean ran to the grocery store, in your face. Sean ran to the grocery store Saturday mornings. We do grocery shopping, and we only had 4 or 5 things on our list this time, so he ran really quick and let me enjoy my morning coffee. We've been doing really good at planning our meals using As Your Standard or Butcher Box. And so when we go to the weekly trips, they're really minimal. He must be home. They're really minimal and they're mostly just vegetables. So I'm gonna pop these in the oven. We're gonna unload our 4 or 5 things from the grocery store and go enjoy our Saturday. But I'll show you when they're done. Are you guys ready to make our topping? So we have, I'm trying to beat the timer. We have 3 minutes. I already said that, beat the timer. She needs the caffeine to kick in. We have 1 stick. This isn't a stick. It's a cube of powdered, oh my God. This is not a cube of powdered sugar. This is a cube of cream cheese, y'all. I let it just sit on top of my oven while my stuff was warming up, and so it's pretty soft. So that is, y'all. Okay, that is gonna go in, and then I've got too much butter here and no container. I need about half a cup. How much was it? 1 stick of butter. This is a little too much, so I'm gonna use a tablespoon to measure it. Pull that out, stick it in there. So I'm gonna mix those 2 things together really quick and give them a whirl. Just like that. To that, I'm gonna add 1, I think it's 1 1/4. I put my butter on my recipe. 1 1/4 cups of very precisely measured powdered sugar. And a mess. You guys know I'm not a baker. Can you tell? We're gonna add 1/4 of a cup of maple syrup to give it kind of some falliness. And then I'm just gonna do a sprinkle of pumpkin pie spice. I don't want too much because I don't want it to be overwhelming, but I want it to be a hint. So just a little sprinkle, it's not even a 1/4 teaspoon. It's probably 1/8 of a teaspoon. I'm gonna let it whirl, and while it's whirling, I'm gonna grab our scraper. I shouldn't do stuff in the morning, my brain don't work. So traditionally people use milk in this kind of mix. We're using the maple instead though. My powdered sugar is sitting on the bottom because my KitchenAid is just what it is. We've gone over this a bunch of times. I've tried adjusting it. I know it doesn't work. I have an old one. I need to go get it serviced or something, I think. Sean might be able to re-grease it. I'm not sure. Anyways, that's all pushed down. I'm going to give it 1 more whirl, but we're pretty close. And that's it, y'all. That is our maple cream cheese. This doesn't want to come off and on lately. Hey, we beat the timer. There's our cream cheese frosting. Let's go put it on our cinnamon rolls and eat some breakfast. Yeah. Look at the beautifulness in the morning. Aren't they pretty and bubbly? Let's frost them, you guys. So we have our frosting, and we're just gonna plop it on top. It'll slowly melt into it and make it amazing. So I have this cute little other spatula, but I don't want to reach for it right now. So we're just gonna get in here and put a blob all over this thing. As you can tell, we're very precise with how we frost things. I wait till it kind of melts, and then I kind of move it around a little bit better. So this guy's a big one. He needs a bigger blob. Whoops, not back in the bowl. I say this on all my videos. I feel like people overcomplicate stuff. It's not difficult to put frosting on a cinnamon roll. And you don't need it to be fancy. Just as long as it's on there, people don't care because it's just frosting on a cinnamon roll, right? That's all they want. They just want lots of frosting on a delicious cinnamon roll. Tell me this doesn't scream fall. Who's ready for fall? It's supposed to be 80 here again today, so we're going to pretend since it's foggy outside this morning that it's fall-y. Yeah, my other little tool would have been much better. I look like an amateur. It's fine. Who's going to know except for all of you? But I keep it in this container on our hutch, and it's like 7 feet in the air, and it's glass and it's heavy. It's not the ideal, but I don't use it all that often, so I threw it up there. Sean woke up this morning with a lot of energy, so he's already in the garage doing some Etsy work, and I've been doing filming. He's already been to the grocery store. He gets up early and gets a lot done, and then he falls asleep like an old man on the couch early, which gives me time to answer all you guys' comments and stuff, so it's fine. But that's it, you guys. I'm going to let this just sit for just a second to continue melting in, but basically we have a ginormous blob of cinnamon roll cream cheese. Let me get a spatula. I'll pull one out for you. Ready? Are you ready? I'm ready. I'm hoping these are just amazing. Sad part is I can't figure out where the edges and stuff are now because I've covered them now with copious amounts of cream cheese. Best part. Look at that. It's like tender and delicious and creamy, and oh my goodness, we're gonna be happy this morning as we're eating our. Am I gonna melt my face? I think I'm gonna melt my face, you guys. You gotta try it though, right? If we put enough cream cheese that's cold, it will compensate for the hot bread stuff, right? Amaze balls. The cream cheese frosting is the bee's knees. It's delicious. Okay, we're gonna go eat breakfast, but try to make these. Let me know what you think. Happy fall.